We're joined now by Democratic Senator Dick Durbin, the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, which conducted today's hearing. Thank you so much for joining us, Senator.
Good to be with you.
So Merrick Garland said today that he does not want the Justice Department to be at the center of partisan disagreement, but he'll face some politically sensitive investigations, including prosecuting those responsible for the attack on the Capitol. Based on the answers that you heard from Judge Garland so far, do you think that he'd ever sign off on a Justice Department-led investigation of former President Trump, either for his incitement of the Capitol insurrection or other potential federal crimes from his time in office?
Well, he was careful and very professional. He wasn't going to make that kind of commitment or any kind of prediction along those lines. Here's what we know. When it came to the worst domestic terrorism incident in the history of the United States 25 years ago, it was Merrick Garland at the Department of Justice they sent down to prosecute the Oklahoma City bombing. We also know that this man is serious about public service. He gave up a lifetime tenure in the Circuit Court of D.C., the second highest court in the land, to accept Joe Biden's invitation to become the Attorney General. He really cares about public service, and that came through today.
Well, whose responsibility is it? Would you say that it's the Justice Department, or should it be local prosecutors?
Well, it's going to be the Justice Department, I'm sure. It could be local prosecutors, but they would go through the Department of Justice in Washington if there was any prosecution at a high level. That's just standard procedure.
And Garland does look like he will move forward, but some of President Biden's other cabinet nominees may be hitting some potential roadblocks. His nominee to head the Office of Management and Budget, NEERATANDE'Ns, now needs Republican support after Senator Joe Manchin has said that he couldn't vote for her because of divisive past statements she's made on social media. Do you think that her nomination or any others could be in jeopardy?
Well, they could be. You know, in a 50-50 Senate, it doesn't take but one senator to put the outcome in doubt. But let me tell you, for the last 4 years, we have been swallowing tweets and comments and articles and essays written by all of the judges on the other side, the Republican aspiring judges, over and over again. And those people had lifetime appointments to the bench. So it isn't like a controversial tweet is something this committee has never seen. We've seen a lot of them.
And the House also moved closer to a vote on President Biden's COVID relief package, which includes raising the federal minimum wage over time to $15 an hour. Can that increase move forward in the Senate through this fast-track process without any Republican votes, or should it have bipartisan support? And have Democrats done enough to sell that measure to the American public, especially to those small business owners?
It remains to be seen. And the reason I'm hedging my answer is, if you ask any senator about this reconciliation process and raising the minimum wage, they're going to throw up their hands. There are so many things we cannot answer until we actually get the bill on the table, submit it to the parliamentarian, get a ruling from the parliamentarian, decide what has to be done to comply with the so-called Byrd rule. These things are really rare. They don't come around very often, and complicated as heck. So we're working through it. I support an increase in the minimum wage. Don't give me a sermon or make a speech about ending income inequality in America and then tell me, oh, we're not going to raise the minimum wage. We haven't touched it for years. It's time.
And finally, of course, we've now surpassed this grim milestone of 500,000 American lives lost to the pandemic. Just reflect on what that means as we've reached such a staggering toll. And beyond the COVID relief bill and more vaccines, what do we still need to do to improve upon as a nation to get a better grip on this?
It is heartbreaking as they do the memorials to people who died of COVID-19. And I always think of those that said, I wish I could have been by his bedside when he died, but we weren't allowed to be in the room. Can you imagine the devastation that brings to that family? That's the reality, and I'm glad that Joe Biden today reminded us that 500,000 of our best neighbors and friends and members of our family have given their lives. Now we've got to move forward. We've really got to come together as a nation, put personal agendas and political agendas aside. We've got to stop this pandemic so our kids can get back in school, businesses reopen, and America get back to normal.
Senator Durbin, we thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.